You already know what time it is. It's that official time. Where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslam Show. Turn it up.
Episode 476, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Chris Featherstone. Indeed. This is the Pancakes and Powerslams Show. We are live in living color, getting funky like a monkey, if you will, baby. Yeah, that's what we do, baby. How's everybody doing? PNP Nation, as always, we are charged up, man. I just had a pretty fun interview with Eric Watts from back in the day, son of the legendary Bill Watts. Baby. All right. Let's get to the Ask Chris questions. Let's start off with Ricky. What did you think of the Throwback SmackDown? I thought it was trash. It was just showing throwback episodes of throwback clips of SmackDown. That's all it was. And the graphics was throwback, and the fist was animated. So as expected, it was actually worse than expected. And what I expected was it was going to be pretty bad, the graphics. But it was good to see Jimmy come back. I'm glad he just didn't. In the beginning, it was a bit odd. But I'm glad he didn't just. I'm glad that there was some depth to it toward the end, as far as Jimmy possibly not being with Roman. I think they really should have stretched that out, though. I think it was a bad call to not stretch that out. It just, I mean, at the end of the segment, at the end of the show, was just Cesaro, like Jimmy helping eventually, and then Cesaro just. I mean, I like Cesaro. I like what they're doing with Cesaro. I think him finally being in the main event picture is pretty cool. But at the end of the day, it's like Jimmy Uso just helped his brother and Cesaro beat up everybody. Okay, so that's it. They really should have stretched this out. It should have been more suspenseful. Like, is Jimmy going to help Cesaro win the championship? They really could have added that, because right now it's like very clear. It's very predictable. And so what they should have done is they should have had Jimmy add to that unpredictable, that level of unpredictability. And so Jimmy, it still should have been some contention there. And we would have went into this Friday with some more contention. Roman still saying some things that are trying to dress Jimmy down. Jimmy's like, you're not going to talk to me like that. And then Jimmy comes out, on Cesaro's corner because of being upset with Roman Reigns. And that would actually bring a little bit more layer and suspense to it than just throwing it out and just saying, okay, well, Jimmy's just going to help his brother Jay and try to attack Cesaro. That's why I just don't understand. Why can't what happened to episodic television? That's what bothers me so much about the WWE. What is it like? Why do we have to why do we have to end the book every single week? And you do such a bad job ending the book every single week. I'm not looking forward to watching the next week, because there's no suspense leading me to watching it the next week. So you could have easily said, okay, now Jimmy's and toward the SmackDown, it was cool just to see some contention going there, as opposed to the very beginning, you just kind of threw them back together. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, he's back with them, and they could have stretched that out, man. I think that was a bad call. As far as blood and guts, it was cool to see that War Games type of feel again. But toward the end Jericho's one of my top 5 of all time. And I just wasn't a fan of the spot. I mean, why would you have them say I give up just to throw them off anyway? It's like it seemed like they were trying to make something real big out of the match. The match was cool to see, like I said, it's just that old school War Games feel to it, which I liked. It was cool. I like the old school War Games. I actually like the old school War Games. I preferred that blood and guts version rather than the NXT version, although the competition's more intense during the NXT War Games, but there's still it feels contrived to me. It feels artificial. It doesn't have that old school War Games feel to it. And I will say that AEW had that old school feel to it more, which I appreciated, but there were still some things that really didn't woo me or wow me. I wasn't very impressed. There were some good spots to it too, but it was okay. Large in life superstars. I can tell you what happened. Marissa says they all have retired, unfortunately, and that's the thing. That's the reason why they keep bringing back all the same well of former stars, the Hogans, the Flairs, for a second it was even Big Show. The Dibiase, which is, it's cool that it's actually pretty cool that he's frequenting NXT now with the whole Cameron Grimes thing, which is cool. But it's still the same. Well, I mean, the Rotundas, IRS for a while too. It's really the same well of talent, from their legends, and so yeah, they could do better with that, but and it goes to show that Ted DiBiase was never really a main event star in the WWE. He was just an upper mid card star. He was booked as such. Never won a single championship, other than never won a singles championship, but he did win the tag team championship. So, but still Hall of Famer because of his character. Had one championship, tag team, still a Hall of Famer, and it'll be difficult for anyone to disagree with the fact that Ted DiBiase was a Hall of Famer, but only won one championship his whole WWE career. That's because his character was larger than life. That's because he's a Hall of Famer. And it goes to show that you can build characters to make them Hall of Famers. And so, same thing with Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts never won a single championship in the WWE. But his character was larger than life. His character was amazing. And so he was in Hall of Fame. Rightfully so. So, COVID update. My cough is getting better. I think I only coughed like at one setting just once today. So it's actually getting better. I'm actually about to put what's it called? What is it called? I'm tired. I just had an interview and I had 8 hours worth of clients and meetings today at work. Cough drop is what it's called. It's called a cough drop. I just put that in. I just put a cough drop in my mouth, and so. But I've had some issues with my throat, like with mucus, and so like in my throat, and so I always have to clear my throat nowadays. So it seems like my chest area is trying to get whatever out, and so it's not as frequent, the coughing, which is really good and still there, but it's not as bad. So that actually makes me feel really, really, really happy, really, really happy. So being asked by Ricky predictions of WrestleMania Backlash. So I will do that. All right. So lastly, in Drew and Strowman. Okay, I'll start that last. Priest and Miz. It seems like they may be going to Miz and Morrison, which it seems like it, but at the same time, it also seems like they're just making Morrison his lackey still. Damian Priest already beat Miz. I think that was his first match in the main roster as a singles. He beat the Miz, and so with WWE's 50-50 feel, I think the Miz is going to win this match just because they're going to probably stretch this more. Morrison might be involved somehow, but we shall see. I think they're going to stretch this more. Reigns and Cesaro. Reigns, I think that's very clear. Dirty Dogs and the Mysterios. It wouldn't surprise me if they did a feel-good moment with the Mysterios, actually. It would make sense if the Street Profits would eventually win it again, but it actually wouldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if they did a feel-good moment with the Mysterios. I think Rhea Ripley's going to retain. Again, Ripley stock is just going down to me. I'm sorry. It just is. Asuka should win because they made her look like crap during Raw. And I'm looking at this match and I'm like, why is Asuka even in the match? You look like crap. Like, you're booking her like the scum of the earth. What is it about Asuka that makes me want her to be in the match, other than me being a personal fan? It's like, you why in the world? Like, she gets booted by Charlotte in the beginning of Raw, and then at the end of Raw, she just gets pinned. I mean, like, the person who had a streak for a year and a half just gets pinned by Rhea Ripley in a WrestleMania and gets pinned by Rhea Ripley in a regular episode of Raw. So again, it just sickens me to see how WWE is just not building stars. It's just, they're not really building characters. It's like Asuka could have been, one of the strongest characters for a long time. And they're making her up and down, up and down. Everybody just feels up and down. Bianca Belair is going to beat Bayley. I think that's a given, but I'm cool with it. I like Bianca. She's one of my favorite female wrestlers in all of professional wrestling. And the triple threat. I don't see them giving it to Drew, but I'll take a wild one here. Safe bet is Lashley retaining it. I think that's what they're going to do. But it wouldn't surprise me if Drew wins, though, because for some reason WWE has this weird philosophy of just suppressing people and making them look lesser than and further down, the importance scale. If you're trying to push them as baby faces, doesn't make any sense to me. And the person that you should be putting over the most, Drew McIntyre, looked like crap on Raw. It's like Asuka and Drew McIntyre. They're two names that, if you're really developing baby faces the way you should, I'm looking at this whole lineup here, 6 matches. I'm looking at this whole lineup here, and maybe Priest, but not really. Nobody on this lineup except for not really Priest, but kind of. And then over the past few weeks, Cesaro has been built better as a main event babyface. But it still doesn't have. Cesaro has been booked so 50-50 that it still feels like there's more time needed to make him feel like a staple babyface. He still feels like transitional. It feels like he's just there for the transition, which I don't like, because Cesaro should be a staple babyface character. He should be a staple main eventer. But I mean, they just poorly booked Drew McIntyre. I was like, why? How in the world you got someone who's 6'6", 6'7", jacked, good worker, amazing ring music, good talker, and intimidating as all get out. And that's it. Reigns is definitely not larger than life. No way. He's not larger than life. He's a WWE guy. There's nothing about the Reigns that's larger than life. Now, he's being booked as a good main eventer, but no way in the world is Roman Reigns larger than life. Did I see the Pillman Dark Side of the Ring? I did. It was really good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. What's going on, Paul? Just overall blood and guts. I mean, I talked about the main event, the ending. The show overall was it was okay. Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. SmackDown is better than Raw. I still wouldn't call SmackDown so good. I think it's the 2-hour feel, Chris. I really do. I think the fact that it's 2 hours is more compact. It feels more. See, here's the thing, and this is coming from a psychology doctor. There's more to be desired with SmackDown than there is Raw every single week. There's more to be desired. It's 2 hours. It's the whole less is more feel. It doesn't feel oversaturated. It doesn't feel like it's overstayed its welcome. That's what Raw feels like. It feels like you've been here too long. Like you've been here an hour too long. I was only expecting to hang out with you for 2 hours, but you've been here for 3 and you've been talking to me for an hour, and I really don't want to give it to you yet, but I really want to let you know, and I think I am going to let you know eventually that you've been here for an hour too late and it's time for you to go. Like that's how Raw feels. It feels like it's overstayed its welcome with all the B-roll footage, with all the graphics on standby, as I would say on the Legion of Raw show, just playing footage after promo after promo, the same B-roll every single week, just variations of the same match, same. And it's like, oh man, this person's over here and he's talking about the same stuff, or she's talking about the same stuff over and over and over again. I'm just losing interest because not only have you said the same thing last week, you're probably going to come over the next week and just say the same thing over again. So I'm just not interested. All right. So, so I'm looking at my wrestling DVD library here. I don't think I've ever let you guys into my library. So I got a lot more than this. But I'm going to bring out a couple here. Here we go. This is my library. The Ultimate Ric Flair Collection. This is really good. Very, very good DVD. Let's see what else I got here. Next. The Undertaker, the streak, 20-0, also very good. But again, it's good. It's good to have for the sake of. I actually bought it when I think the streak was still going on. This was in 2012, yeah. So I bought it when it first came out. So the streak was still alive and thriving. This one was really good, actually. I really enjoyed this one. Scott Hall, Living on a Razor's Edge. Pretty good stuff. It's a 3-disc series. Talks about just his career. So really good stuff. I enjoyed it. It talked about like his legal stuff and the time that he I think stabbed the guy to death, or just I think it was out of self-defense at a bar or something like that. Let's see, there's one more. I think these things are bunched up in here, so let's see. All right. I don't have a Mid-South one up here. The Mid-South one was I really enjoyed the Mid-South one. I got the Tombstone one too from the Undertaker. It looks like I got the NWO one, the US title one. That was really good. All right. Actually, the US Championship, like the Legacy one, was okay. It was just okay. I'm gonna give you 2 of them actually. Austin McMahon, Saturday Night's Main Event, WrestleMania. Yeah, got some good ones, man. All right, so this one's legendary here. I actually might watch this again soon. Rise and Fall of ECW. Really good one. Really good doc there. And of course, you should already know this, right? You should already know that I have to have a Sting DVD. He's the GOAT to me. He's on my all-time favorite. Sting Into the Light. So, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Sting DVD set there. And this is when he was at WrestleMania. Still very unhappy at that outcome there. I still thought that was a very bad idea to have him lose. But WWE can be petty, and there you go. This back up here. There we go. All right, there you go. You step into my my DVD collection there. That's just a fraction of what I have up there, but fun stuff. I really gotta find a lot of my DVDs, actually, and I think I might buy a whole bunch of new ones. I just don't have anywhere to put it. Like, I have a shelf here, and I have other stuff, but I really don't have much anywhere to put it. I do have like a little area here that I might can put it in. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Running for city council, Elvis. All right. Nice. Did I have someone? Did I get someone to sing the PNP thing? Yes, I got someone to rap it. His name is Eric Cross. Absolutely. Great run-off idea. Bring back the Master Lock competition. See Masters, maybe his promo's okay, but he gets destroyed by Lashley. Not the worst idea ever. That would be kind of cool. I'm cool with Chris Masters, actually. We'll see. Yeah, like I was saying, I still have my cough, but just it's just stuff here, but I'm feeling much better, though. I'm feeling much better. I mean, I haven't had any COVID symptoms, and my quarantine was over April 15th, and so that was just about a month ago. And so, other than a cough, I mean, I haven't had any COVID symptoms in a month. No body temperature issues, no fever issues, no loss of taste and smell. I can taste this very strong cough drop right now. I had surgery the day after my quarantine, so that's relieved my headaches like crazy, which I'm so thankful for. Thank you, Jesus. And hot flashes, cold sweats, body fatigue, none of that stuff. I haven't experienced that in a month, just about. But that nagging cough, is just the only thing that's just bothers me. And that's gotten better too, because I would get to the point where I was like, I feel like I was going to cough up a lung. Like I said last week, it only pops up a few times a day now. See, right now, I'm just clearing my throat. But this pops up real bad about a few times a day. But even from last week to this week, there would be times throughout the day, and there would be times during my therapy session that I would be coughing, and which I can't stand. But every time I wear a mask, it bothers my breathing flow, and I'm like, just had COVID last month, and so I'm trying to breathe as much as I can, and every time I wear that mask, it just blocks just my air passage, and it's just annoying. But the fun thing about what I was told, and the Department of Health they sent me all the information. They had to call you during the time you had COVID. They have to call you, and you have to go through a vetting process and all that. to you have to go through a vetting process, and they'll let you know when your quarantine's up. What's up, Aaron? By the way, I see you over here. What's up, Aaron? And so, yeah. So they have to do all the vetting process, and they said that once you have COVID, as far as you get immune to it, so you can give it or get it for 90 days. And so, I don't have any issue with, being around people. I still check temperatures for my clients. And I still wear a mask just out of respect for them. I mean, I can't give it or get it, but I still wear a mask a lot of times. And I'll ask them, do you mind me taking out the mask? And I don't mind letting them know I had COVID last month too. So yeah, I don't have any shame with telling people I had COVID. I had COVID. I mean, what in the world? So I don't see the point of shaming that. So I'll let my clients know a lot. I typically let my clients know and let them know I'm gonna take a mask off. I had COVID last month, but it's not contagious and blah blah blah. Take the mask off. Do you mind? Everyone, every 100% is 100% of my clients. Yeah, take the mask off. I don't mind. So, so it's all good. All good. Have I been watching the biographies and Most Wanted Treasures? I haven't watched Most Wanted Treasure except for the Undertaker one, and the Undertaker one was really cool. I'll watch the other ones too when I get time. That's not a high on my priority list to watch, but I did watch Taker's, the one with the Undertaker, and the guy who was getting interesting. The guy who was getting, who was with the Undertaker getting his stuff was the guy who's with, what is his name now? Used to be Strickland, but Isaiah Swerve Scott, yeah. Isaiah Swerve Scott. So he's in his entourage. So big dude. As far as the biographies, yep. I'm almost done with books. Only got about like 10 minutes left in books, 15 minutes left in books. I watched that throughout like the past 3 days in spurts. Watched a big part of that at the gym. Typically when I'm doing cardio for both days, I watched it at that time. So I used to do 40 minutes of cardio a day. I did 40 minutes yesterday because I've been doing a half an hour in the arc trainer. I bumped up to 40 because I love just pushing myself. But I still, when I bumped it up that other 10 minutes, I still felt some soreness. Like I started to feel some soreness in my back, some stiffness and some soreness. I was like, okay, well, I'll scale it down a little bit. I'll scale it down again, probably for another week, week and a half or so. I'll bump it back up to 40, but I'll do 30. So I watched it during my cardio. So that was over an hour of it with the past couple of days. So yeah, it's really good. I've seen the rest of them. I saw Savage, I saw Piper, and I saw Austin. So I saw all three of them, and all three of them were pretty good. Yeah. Wait. Is there? I never said anything about Andre never being a former champ. He is. Andre the Giant is recognized as a former WWE champion. Yeah, absolutely. He is. He's a recognized WWE champion. Aaron said he thinks I touched on it last night, but do I think WWE has too much talent? That's why they can't build a star, or are they just lazy because of all the money they make? I think it's the latter. I think that WWE has one of the best talent pools in pro wrestling, hands down. They have the talent. They can build people. I mean, they have the and here's the thing that's even crazy. The times that WWE was building stars from back in the day, you only had 1 hour a weekly program, maybe 2 hours of weekly programming. And they were all taped. So, and it's like before 93, and then you had Raw, which was a week at first, and then became, which was an hour at first, and it became 2 hours. And so you had less time to build stars. Now you have more time to build stars, and you just don't take it. And so I just laziness. It has to be laziness. I mean, like, you have more time to build stars and you still don't build them. And so it's absolute laziness. What we got here? If added Big E versus Apollo versus Sane versus Owens for the title, I think Apollo will still have it. And Sheamus versus Humberto, which we don't even know because Humberto Carrillo was apparently injured last night. Sheamus would win too. I think both of the heels will retain their championships. And I can definitely see that 4-way happening. Yes, typically they are different for Raw and SmackDown as far as head writers. Indeed. I mean, because they are trying to stretch segments. They're really trying to. They're trying to stretch segments. I actually have 3 title belts. I have the Big O belt. I have the current WWE Championship, and I have the Attitude Era Championship. Yes, I saw tweets of this. They gave people refunds because the first hour was taped. So yeah, the Blood and Guts match was the only match that was live, and not all of the Blood and Guts match was live either. I saw a tweet of them watching the Blood and Guts match on the big screen, and then in the caves there were nobody in there. So last week, I was asked this question. I said, the jury's still out. Wasn't a big fan, didn't really catch me, but I was willing to give it another week. Okay. Listening to it last week or whenever I watched SmackDown, I think it may have been Friday or Saturday. Friday night or Saturday, I think. Somewhere around there. Going back to it on this weekend, I felt worse this weekend than I did last weekend. Like I'm feeling worse about the song. It's generic. It doesn't help Reigns' character. It doesn't feel exclusive to Roman Reigns. I mean, those are 3 of the biggest things that I find an issue with this song. It does not feel exclusive to Roman Reigns whatsoever. It feels like you could put that music on anybody. It feels like you could have put that music on Apollo Crews when he turned heel. Like, it just, like, he should have one of the best theme songs, period, in the WWE, because he is the top guy on SmackDown and among the top guys in WWE. So there shouldn't be a lot of people who have better theme songs than him. That sound bland and generic, and it doesn't feel like it is only exclusive to Roman Reigns. I think that's my biggest critique about it. Doesn't feel exclusive to Roman Reigns. You could put that music on anybody, and it wouldn't change anything. It wouldn't make it. You could put that on like I said, you could put it on Apollo Crews, and someone would say, "Oh, okay, well, he has new music." Like, it doesn't feel like Roman Reigns. Whereas you can't put the honky tonk man's music on Sergeant Slaughter, or when he turned heel, or Rick Rude. You know what I mean? Like, Rick Rude's, you can't put his music on Mr. Perfect. You can't put Mr. Perfect's music on you name it. I mean, Bad News Brown or even Jive So Bro. You can't even put Slick's music on Dino Bravo or Hercules or something. You know what I mean? Like you can't just interchange music, but a lot of WWE's music, it feels like you can interchange it. Unfortunately. Tina saying heard ramblings of WWE not wanting bigger talent than the company anymore. Is that true? It kind of shoots them in the foot. Fans come for characters, not the company. Bingo, Tina. Fans come for characters, not for company. 100%. I say that all the time. So guess what, Tina? You get the applause of the night. There you go. So yes, it is true. Ryback said it. Ryback actually showed things, and he actually talked about this. That he had a conversation with Triple H. Triple H said that after John Cena, they didn't want to put anybody. They didn't want to make anybody bigger than the company, and you feel it. You see it. It's unfortunate. Michael was at the first WrestleMania and amazingly lasted a mere 2 hours and 10 minutes, began at 1 in the afternoon. Awesome, Michael. That's good. Thanks for sharing that, man. Good stuff. Back in 1985. Right? Yeah. 2008. 1985 was the first WrestleMania. Good stuff. Mere 2 hours, man. Good stuff. 2 hours and 10 minutes. There it is, my man. I have interviewed Teddy Long before. Teddy Long's been on the PNP show, and actually, I will put the link in the chat. Player. There you go. There's my interview with Teddy Long. Episode 215 is when I had an interview with Teddy Long. Thank you, Multi. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Dion, what's up, man? Great to have you. I'll be watching the Michaels one. Heard it was pretty good. No, Ted DiBiase. See, on the other hand, Ted DiBiase was not recognized as WWE champion. Andre the Giant is recognized as WWE champion, but Ted DiBiase is not a recognized WWE champion. You can look at the history books. You can look at the list of champions. You will see Andre the Giant, but you will not see Ted DiBiase. Yeah, so that is unrecognized. I'm looking at it right now. Andre the Giant is a recognized champion, and then it says Ted DiBiase, but at the same time, not recognized. Not recognized. Let me see. Yep. Andre the Giant, yes. Ted DiBiase, no. Yep. President Jack Tunney ruled this as vacating the title, and therefore DiBiase's reign is not recognized by WWE. He was announced as such in the following days and even defended the title once against Bam Bam Bigelow at the end of February 8th, 1988 live event. But President Jack Tunney, he didn't recognize DiBiase as a champ. So technically, DiBiase has never been WWE champion. But Andre, yes. Yes, indeed. Same here, Paul. Same to you, Paul. Ted DiBiase was never a recognized WWE champion. Andre the Giant, yes. Ted DiBiase, no. TV tapings were done for 3 weeks and 1 night. Yep, I remember those days. Maltese asking what I think it'll take for WWE to start putting on better shows, especially for Raw. It would take the networks putting fire in their behinds and saying that I need to see better product or else I'm going to take you off the network. That's the only thing that's going to cause the WWE to start making better products. Otherwise, right now they're just collecting checks. And guess what? They can do that. Thoughts on the return of Jinder Mahal? Cool, I suppose, right? Jinder's got a bunch of potential, man. It's just I don't trust the WWE with him. I just don't. I don't trust the WWE with him. I don't trust him with him now. Like, you just bringing in 2 guys for what? I mean, like, I just don't trust the WWE with Jinder Mahal. Ton of potential. I just don't trust the WWE with. They have failed me many times. Now, granted, he is injury prone, which isn't good. That's always a bad thing with the WWE. Which, unfortunately, I think that's the reason why I don't see him in the main event anytime soon or ever, because he's too injury prone. But yeah, I mean, it was just kind of lackluster. I think the worst part of all that was the fact that he jobbed out to Jeff Hardy. I mean, Jeff Hardy jobbed out to him, and they're just really just totally annihilating Jeff Hardy's legacy. It's terrible. He just needs to retire and be in the Hall of Fame, because Jeff Hardy's current singles run for a long time has been utter trash, and it's sad. It was good to see Ivan Putski on the Booker T doc. I really enjoyed that. Did I get the big gold belt because of Sting? No, I got the big gold belt because of Flair. Because of Flair, big man. Yeah, I mean, I loved when Sting had it, because Sting's my all-time favorite. But when you think of big gold belt, you think of Ric Flair, man, big man. What made me get the Attitude Era? And the current title because it's the current title. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's the current championship. So whenever I go to different places, I can bring it with me. Raw comes to and SmackDown. WWE period comes to Columbus a lot, so I usually carry it then. And then I wear it during I carry it during WrestleMania. And so, yeah, that's the reason why I got the current title. That's the reason why I got the Attitude Era title, because that's my favorite title. It's my favorite design. Eva's new gimmick. We'll see. I mean, the Evolution thing. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I don't have the Eagle Championship. It has a lot of tradition to it. The winged eagle is traditional, but I wasn't a big fan I wasn't as a big a fan as the winged eagle as other people are. Aaron's asking, besides the bad booking, do I think some fans have anything to do with building talent? Because sometimes we see when WWE tries, I think it was saying, to turn the talent heel, fans get behind the heel, like Seth turn on the Shield or Rebecca turn on Charlotte. I think that's a fair point, but at the same time, I mean, you can build a heel. The problem is a lot of the heels, they don't do anything heelish. Like, okay, let me give you an example. Cedric Alexander, by the way, other than his just annoying, and again, great talent. Cedric's been on the show before. I really wish the best for him, man. But he does not need to be talking. He has the most annoying promo voice. He has like a screeching, just kind of really odd, annoying pitch when he gets upset. He really needs to work on that. And Cedric Alexander, again, I've said this before. If you are watching this, please Man, you've got to work on that promo, man. You've got to work on taming down that just primal scream that you do. That's just annoying. It feels like a really bad, annoying argument from like, I mean, like it just if the walls were hollow, like your voice is what I'm listening to on the hollow wall next to me if I'm in an apartment. Like that's how I feel about when Cedric Alexander talks. It's just annoying. Like I'll put on some headphones or I'll call the, leasing agent or property manager or whatever. Just like, yeah, they gotta stop. Like they're annoying. He's annoying me. So, and that's not what they're trying to do. Like that's not the feel that they're trying to do. So, I mean, Adam Cole, for instance, when he was in the Undisputed Era, like he's doing babyface stuff. You're doing the whole boom, right? And so everybody also the Undisputed Era's music is amazing. And so that was already catchy. He gets up there, boom, and oh, Adam Cole, baby. That's not heelish whatsoever. And so that is this like cool heel type of deal. That's hurting that heel, and that's also hurting baby faces because you're not establishing characters because everybody's great. Everybody can be cheered. Like, for instance, man, people starting to cheer Santos Escobar a lot lately, actually for months now. And I'm like, this dude's a heel. Like, if I was Santos Escobar, I don't, it seems like it's one of those things that you don't want. For some reason, I feel like in the back somehow they're telling their characters not to pander to the audience or not to kind of talk back to the audience, which I think is stupid because stuff like that is what made heels heels. They would generate more heat by antagonizing the fans. And I don't see that anymore. I don't see wrestlers cutting bad, like antagonizing promos. Like Charlotte does it, but I'm just, I don't really care about Charlotte's character. Just, it's kind of like the more things change, the more they say the same in a sense, because that she's talking about new, but I mean, we've seen that old heel gimmick years ago for a number of years, actually, many times. So I do like the fact, though, that she is cutting a heel promo because you're supposed to cut heel promos. Like, you're supposed to draw heat, especially nowadays. People just aren't going to, unless you're being shoved down their throats, they're not just going to, like, expect, you should just expect heat from people. You either get a non-response, which is normal, or you'll get, like, just the heat that you get is like, I don't care heat. It's kind of like, it's not necessarily, X-Pac heat, like go away heat, but it's still kind of like, I don't care about this character. You're not invested in the character. So it's like, cut antagonizing promos. Santos Escobar and Legado Del Fantasma. And it's like they should be cutting heel promos, like Santos Escobar. And same thing with Karrion Kross. I'm like, I every time I hear Karrion Kross cut a promo, I'm like, are you a baby face or a heel? Like, what am I supposed to cheer you? Am I supposed to boo you? But you were feuding with Finn Balor. Finn Balor's definitely a baby face, right? Right? So you're feuding with Balor, but you team with him. But then you got upset because he bumped Scarlett. So then you get heelish again, but you came in as a really strong heel when you were feuding with Keith Lee. But you put your mic around when people are chanting your name, so that's a very baby face, like a baby face. And you're really confusing just the viewer. You're confusing the viewer, and you're not eliciting, you're not drawing heat from the audience. If your character is compelling enough, people are going to cheer you. You have to go the extra mile to draw heat. It's like, how simple can you get? And if you watch wrestling, if you know about pro wrestling and you're a wrestler and you're booked to be a bad guy, you should know how to draw heat. And there's so many wrestlers in all of professional wrestling who does an absolute horrible job at drawing heat. It's horrible. That's the reason why I can appreciate someone like a Don Callis. Don Callis knows how to draw heat. Kenny Omega, he's starting to act. I mean, he's been starting to act heelish. But again, there's nothing about his moveset that looks different than a babyface, than a high-flying babyface. He's starting to be real smug and arrogant, which I can appreciate. But that still wouldn't have much weight to it if Callis wasn't there. Like, people love to hate Don Callis. There's nothing about Don Callis that's likable. You know what I mean? And him cutting his promos, I'm a fan of it. That's one of the things that AEW has gotten right when it comes to developing Kenny Omega as a heel. And now you have Moxley and Eddie Kingston, which are good baby faces in that anti-establishment type of baby faces, which I appreciate. I like it. It's cool. Kingston as a babyface works, especially when he's with Moxley. So that feud is intriguing because you have heels who are really heels, and they're making someone like an Eddie Kingston be more excited to be watched because you really have heels you're working with now. See, and that's the importance of that face heel dynamic. It would be ridiculous for pro wrestling companies to say, you can cheer what you want. Like, that defeats the purpose of building strong baby faces and building strong heels. If everybody's kind of up for grabs, no one's helping anybody, because we're supposed to hate you so much that the babyface comes in, beats you, and the crowd goes bananas. And then the heel comes in, dampers that, and then gets a bunch of heat. Then the babyface gets the comeuppance again. I mean, just think about if someone like a Ron Simmons, when he beat Vader, was 50-50, and some people thought it was a face, some people thought it was a heel. Those feel-good moments would not have the same feel to it whatsoever. When Sting won the championship at Great American Bash 1990, just things like that. When Steamboat beat Savage at WrestleMania 3, those feel-good moments would never be on the status of where it was if everybody's just kind of cheering, gray area, 50-50 type of deal. We wouldn't have those moments like we did before. So baby faces and heels still matter. They always will matter. And anybody who says otherwise that's a very idiotic question. Yep. Don't buy the championship, 24/7 championship. I hear you have to defend it nonstop and because it's tiring. Even if I get it. Elvis is asking, would I rather see Goldberg versus Lashley, Goldberg versus Roman? I'd rather see Goldberg versus see, and there's another thing. I was out of the two, probably Goldberg, Lashley, with Lashley winning just to put Lashley over. But that's another big issue that I have. Like, right now, the sake of the fan, for this, they're bringing in names from yesteryear just to job out to people. And so at the end of the day, who is it helping? Who is it helping? You can't just depend on the namesake of a character, of a wrestler anymore, because it just feels. I mean, it feels like you're just like this person's going to lose. You're losing. You're continuing to lower the stock of the wrestler, and so there you go. It's terrible. Um. All right, let's just a couple more. Agreed. Sasha and Bailey did a really good job being heels, for sure. Reigns is a really good heel. I wouldn't call him great. He was at first, but it's that real character is starting to fade away. But he's still a good heel. Sami Zayn is funny. I wouldn't know about a good heel. Too long? No. I mean, I would do it longer, for sure. Absolutely longer. You have to establish someone as a babyface or a heel. You have to establish characters, for sure. For sure. Did I miss something about Cornette? What did I miss about that? All right. I think this is the last one. No personal issue with Goldberg, but the only match I want to see him in is Goldberg first retirement. What about you? I'm a big Goldberg fan, man. I really am a big fan of Goldberg. He's probably in my top 10. I was a huge Goldberg mark back in the day. I'm a big Goldberg fan. He's been on my show before. Super cool dude. So I've got all good things to say about Goldberg as a fan, but it's like, I mean, I can watch Goldberg a time or so a year, But I agree. I mean, bringing Goldberg in doesn't mean anything to anybody to me. I would say it's not a Goldberg fault. It's not Goldberg's fault either. It's just WWE's failure to make someone look big anymore. Brock Lesnar is the only person that really comes in and still has that big aura to him. Like they're developing the aura to Reigns. He still doesn't have that aura that much because Brock Lesnar just wouldn't get beat up with two other people by one person. I mean, that's what happened on SmackDown. So stuff like that really affects his aura. If you're really trying to build an aura with Roman Reigns, there's no way that he should have moments where he's getting speared and uppercut, and he shouldn't look weak. There's been plenty of times with his feud with Zayn, with his feud with Daniel Bryan and Edge, and that he looked weak, leading up to the match. He shouldn't look weak. And that's what separates him from a huge aura heel like a Brock Lesnar. That's what separates him from a Lesnar. And so potential, absolutely. But the WWE, I don't trust the WWE with their follow through. Absolutely. Reigns' opponent has got to build momentum, though. No, I mean, like Ricky. At the end of the day, WWE, they book the characters, and so a character has to get to the point of building momentum. They have to get to the point where they are being over as a babyface, and the WWE is the ones who do that. They have the ability to make people over or not based on the fact that based on how they book them. And I would even say, knowing that, the wrestler should do stuff that makes them, stand out. Like, for instance, Sami Zayn started dancing during his Logan issue, his Logan Paul interview, his Kevin Owens thing when he came up. And so he got super over for a few weeks by the dances that he did. But for some reason, he did the Teddy Long, on SmackDown, but he didn't do the same type of dancing. So it definitely wouldn't surprise me that WWE was like, okay, this is starting to get over too much, because he actually got T-shirts with this dancing. People were buying it. He was raising it for the Syria promotion and raising it for the Syria thing, charity. And so, that's how you make it. That's how you put yourself over. But it's just so sad nowadays that there's no larger than life people. What happened to the Fiend? He got ghosted, man. Alexa Bliss took his place, and we shall see. So we shall see. I think there might be some things that he's going through his personal life, but we shall see. Prayers out to him if that is the case. All right, y'all. Going to roll. Super long day at work. The past couple of weeks. The past couple of days has been super busy. It typically is super busy at work, but yesterday and today was super busy or great. Yesterday is Wednesday typically. It's officially Wednesday now, Eastern, but so yesterday and the day before was super busy at work. Full day Monday, super full day today. So I'm chilling. I'm about to relax for a little bit and hang out for a little bit, probably watch some TV for the next 20-30 minutes or so as I go to bed. So I'm going to chill and hang out for a little bit and relax. So thanks, guys. PNP Nation. Patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams. Go support your guy. Dr. Chris, for this awesome show that you guys have a wonderful time every single week. Again, cravewrestling@gmail.com. Cravewrestling@gmail.com. Go here. Send a 30-second promo of how much you love PNP, and you will be played in the beginning of the show as Elvis and Rick now. Again, patreon.com/Pancakes and Powerslams. Again, we got $1 a month, guys. $1 a month. We got the top tier, which is cheaper than a Happy Meal, right? or a value meal. There you go. Cheaper than a value meal. So $6 a month, y'all. You get t-shirts. You get your whole segment of people asking you questions, and actually one of the patrons, he will be coming on soon to having an ask segment for him. So looking forward to that. All right, y'all. Good stuff. All the great shows. Very, very nice. Thanks for everybody who is giving me compliments about the show today. As always, super fun with the PNP Nation, the best fans on the planet. Until next week, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless, and always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody.